Hi, I'm Paul Pasulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. Today we're going to look at Test 1, Section 1, number 36, which reads, Wolf indicates that the procession she describes in the passage, what? And you're just asked to finish the sentence. Now, if you don't remember the answer to this question, and you don't remember where it is in the passage, make sure you look at number 37, because quite often you'll see that it's going to give you some line references. So if you've already read the whole passage, you don't have to go back and read the whole thing over again. And so the first line reference is from 12 to 17. Let's see if this seems to give us an answer to the question. Keep in mind, it's got to have a match. Sometimes number 37 might seem to have more than one line reference. That seems to work. Correct answer's got to have a match with 36, or even 36 might seem to have more than one answer that works. It's got to have a match with 37. And lastly, sometimes you get more than one match, in which case the correct answer is going to be the one that is directly answering the question. So 12 to 17, it goes from 12 to 17 right here. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of context. This last paragraph ends by saying the procession of the sons of educated men. And who are they? We get it in lines 12 to 17. They are, there they go. Proceed means to go, so procession as a verb. Who are they? They are brothers, not literally, but men who have been educated at public schools and universities, mounting those steps, passing in and out of those doors, ascending those pulpits, preaching, teaching, administering justice, practicing medicine, transacting business, and making money. So it sounds like, in a nutshell, procession as a verb is proceed, is going. There they go. Where are they going? They're going to work. And it looks like it's describing them as doctors, as judges, as lawyers, as preachers. And so it's telling us about the procession. It's not really, it's telling us who they are. It's not really telling us much about it. We'd have to see if there's a match with number 36. Practical influence, become a celebrated feature of English life. So it might seem like it's celebrated because she uses the word procession, but that's not how it's being presented in the passage, as we see as we read on as well. All the richest and most powerful men in England, well, preachers many times have to take a vow of poverty. That's wrong. And then answer choice D becomes less exclusionary in its membership in recent years. We don't get a time frame just yet. So let's look at answer choice B, 17 to 19. And there we have it, meaning the procession, is a solemn sight always. A procession like a caravanserai crossing the desert. So what we get there is it describes it as solemn, and you get a little metaphor there. So let's see. Well, rather simile, it uses like, right? So does that match anything in particular? So we've got solemn and we've got desert. Practical influence, feature of English public life, richest, most powerful, less exclusionary. That doesn't really match anything either. So then we have 23 to 24. Let's see what's going on in 23 to 24. So 21, 2, 3. For there, traipsing along at the tail end of the procession, we go ourselves. So who's we? Remember, in this passage, we is talking about the women. Traipsing, what's it means? It's not trapezing. They're not swinging from the trapeze. It means they're walking like they're tired. And we see later in this passage that there's a reason why they're walking like they're tired. At the tail end of the procession, they must have just arrived if they're at the tail end of the procession. You're at the tail end when you've just arrived. So let's see if that matches anything. So practical influence, don't really see it. Celebrated feature of English public life, no. Richest, most powerful, no allusion to that. Has become less exclusionary its membership in recent years. So if it's we, meaning women, so women, it sounds like women are starting to be included, opposite of exclusionary, inclusionary, or as adjectives, exclusive, inclusive as verbs, exclude or include. So women are beginning to be included. If they're at the tail end of the procession, they've just gotten there. So it looks like this could be a match with lines 23 to 24. Let's just investigate 30 to 34. And as it turns out, if my memory serves, this is a very common wrong answer. 30 to 34, we too can leave our house, can mount those steps, pass in and out of those doors, make money, administer justice. We who now agitate these humble pens may in another century or two speak from a pulpit. And that might seem to match, has become less exclusionary in its memberships in recent years. If you look at it closely, though, what it says at the tail end of this is that may in another century or two speak from the pulpit. It's talking about future, whereas answer choice D over here talks about in recent years. So answer choice D does not, in number 37, does not match answer choice D in number 36. What I've found is that whenever a time element is introduced, you want to pay careful attention to that because it could be really important. Lastly, just to get a little more context, so 23 to 24 does match, less exclusionary in its membership in recent years. If you could get some context, just make sure if you're reading before or after the line that's referenced that you're not in another line. And if you back up from 23 to 24, what it says is, but now for the past 20 years or so. So that is recent. And then she gets kind of abstracts, no longer a site, merely a photograph, fresco scrawled upon the walls of time in which we could look with merely an aesthetic appreciation. And then it's still that time frame for the past 20 years or so, traipsing along at the tail end of the procession we go ourselves. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like, share it with someone who has trouble with these paired types questions. If you'd like to see a video on any official SAT or ACT or PSAT question, leave it in the comments. You could also leave someone's name in the comments who could benefit from this video. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.